So one of my favourite and the most used sharpening stone in the field is the Scythe stone from the south of France in the Pyrenees. I really like this stone. It's got some very fine silica grits in it, and they are in a kind of softer substrate as a sedimentary stone, and the substrate is relatively soft compared to the harder grits, and that means that when you're sharpening with it, as the grits are getting blunted, they are then falling out and leaving new sharp grits at the surface. And also when you use it in the field, if you use it with quite a lot of pressure, then it's pushing those grits hard against the blade and bringing new sharp ones to the surface, while if you use it with less pressure, then you've got a lot of the kind of slurry from making a fine paste from the substrate, and that does more of a polishing action on the blade. So you've got quite a lot of versatility in just one stone. The other stone that I use in the field quite a lot, especially as the season progresses and there's more and more kind of seed stalks in the vegetation, the Orsa pink stone. So while it doesn't feel extremely gritty, it has a more spaced out kind of grit structure, and it scratches the edge of the blade in such a way that it gets some little teeth on it, and they then kind of make more of a saw-like action when cutting through the stems of the grass. And when I first use it, I find that, oh yeah, that keeps going for quite a long time, possibly longer than the sharpness that I get from the smoother stone. But if you use it repeatedly, just the same stone, then actually those scratches are wearing more metal away from the blade, and so you have to peen the blade more, and if you do that, you tend to wear away the blade to a point where it's harder to peen. But I use it often in combination with the Scythe stone, so that I'm using this to create the little teeth, and then a couple of times I'm just using this one to sharpen off those teeth, and I find that gives a good compromise between getting those teeth on the edge and not wearing the blade away too fast. The other stone that I use quite a bit when in the workshop rather than in the field is from the Baryonyx Knife Co. in America, and this is a kind of technical artificial stone. So it's got a blue sapphire, artificial blue sapphire grit in some kind of ceramic substrate in a very shiny white when it's new. The substrate, the little grits of blue sapphire are very much harder than the kind of natural silica grits in most of the other stones, and so particularly with the harder falchi blades, I find that after using the peening jig, this is a much easier way to get the flat spot off the edge of the blade before mowing or maybe freehand peening the edge. And also when I've used a file in repairing the edges of the blades or things like that, I find this is the fastest thing, and it leaves a much smoother edge than the carborundum stone, because the grits it makes because they're so hard. It's quite aggressive, especially if you put a bit of pressure in behind it. Removes metal quite fast, but leaves a much smoother surface.